All right, this day of adventure is continuing. Many discoveries. It's going to be like 15 of them altogether. Charlie, you're on point. Episode
Yes.
661.
And here we go.
Usually, there we go.
All right, here we go. Snapped ankles all the way from the UK. Hard Times, Furious Dancing. This year, 2025. 9 tracks, 42 minutes. This genre is post-punk, electronic, and krautrock.
Wow.
Yeah, a bit of everything. Now, they're dressed in like in forest. They're like forest people. They're all dressed like with a lot of like hair and everything. Um, it's really really cool. I like the gimmick. Um, he wrote this. Hard Times Furious Dancing is an invitation to all those lost in the unrelenting noise of the present to leave it all behind and come together in the forest. Driven by the primitive thrust of their single oscillator log synths, high and low culture collide in a surreal, free flowing narrative, but the rhythm is universal. This is easily the closest Snapped Ankles have come to capturing their rapturous live energy in the studio. It's everything you've come to know and love from a Snapped Ankles album, amped all the way up to the ground begins to shake.
Wow.
So, they wrote this during, since it came out this year, they wrote this during I don't know how long they had this on hold, but they said that they were experiencing a lot during the pandemic. But it goes on more in the description. So I'll play you this. Pay the rent. Um, I've had them on my list for some time now. I did listen to their previous album. They have, I think, 5 albums or
Ah,
four. Yeah, so they're very just by judging the way they are dressed, I thought it was gonna be something else, but no, they're very like this. Some of it comes off electro very dancey, very rave, but they use a lot of instruments and a lot of obviously no noise analog and everything. They're very, very interesting. They take the approach of what it is like dance rave music to a whole other level. And some of it can get a bit dark, but there's always something to dance to right in between the sessions of their songs. So I really, really appreciated this album. This is the one of the last albums they have. I'm pretty sure they're gonna do more later. I hope. But I recommend this album, Hard Times, Fierce Dancing. It's really, really, really good. It gets you thinking. It gets you almost feels like you warped back to the 90s, like the early 90s, but infusing with today's modern music. So it's a bit of both, and it's really, really good stuff. So Bandcamp, Spotify, and YouTube. And next one is Arab on Radar. The album is Yahweh or the Highway. Came out in 2001. 8 tracks, 25 minutes, and they are considered noise rock, no wave, and art punk. Um, they're That's it. Did I say 8 tracks, 25 minutes? Yeah. So they write this on their Bandcamp. They're no longer around anymore, by the way. They've broken up since of 2010. Says Arab on Radar do not wish to attain their own private nirvana. On the contrary, they surveyed the inordinarily weekend music scene of 2001, and while desirous of winning supreme musical enlightenment, Arab on Radar do not tremble at the birth and death of past musical attempts. They have set out for the benefit of the music, for the ease of the music world, out of pity for the music world. Arab on Radar have resolved we will become a shelter for the music lover's place of excitement, the final relief of the music of the past, lights of the music world, the guidelines for the music world's means of salvation. And I can go on, but that's what they wrote. So basically this album, from what I read, they are very anti-math rock. So they tell you in their version what math rock and noise rock means to them. So let me
Yeah.
play this. That song was My Mind is a Muffler. So they've had some controversy behind them due to the name of the album and due to I think this is the album. I don't want to Did it came out during 9/11? No. Actually came out August came out this came out a month before 9/11. But when they performed live, I believe that the name and everything that was going on with 9/11 didn't quite sit well with the music people. So yeah,
Oh,
they had a little bit of controversy, but that kind of worn out. They weren't, I don't know if they were trying to cause something or not, but yeah, but anyway, they truly this album really blew my mind away. Um it was very, you could tell it was very ahead of its time. Because a lot of bands today have their own interpretation of experimental or noise rock or math rock, but I guess they went really, really went anti-math rock, and I'm just like, okay, do I hear it? And then sure enough, I did, because at times you do hear the math rock elements, but then you hear more of the noise rock, and then it goes something really, really bizarre in its own way. It's like they were really, really having fun uh just messing around with these instruments and trying to take them apart and say, no, I think we're going to use the sound of this way and not use the traditional sense of what music is to anybody's ears, right? At least that's how they interpret it with this album. But yeah, check out Arab on Radar, Yahweh or the Highway
oh,
on Bandcamp, Spotify, or YouTube. This band will really, really is mind blowing. Very, very out there. Very crazy. Crazy in their performance. Next one is my favorite. Ilkae, if I'm pronouncing that name right, Ilkae. Pistachio Island also came out in 2001. 45 tracks, 1 hour. and this is electronic, IDM, and experimental. Um, there's not much to say about this, but the this group. I mean, one man. I think he's a one man. This album is one of my favorites, and I will own it. And because of this. This reminded me of what some of the early stuff of Apex Twin. The whole album is very, very beautiful. It has a lot of lush with the electronics that he experimented with. It plays it safe. He doesn't go all dangerous, like noisy. No, he teleports you into that world, into his world, what anybody or him would think. What is Pistachio Island? How would it look like?
Wow.
What kind of music does that island play? Can we describe it? And sure enough, he did with with this album, and I have to say it's one of my favorites. I will own it on CD, and I could play this over and over. It's very relaxing. I will say that the little noises and the beats, it's very it's just very refreshing, and it's so soothing and relaxing. I love this, and I hope anybody that checks this artist out and the album Pistachio Island will check it out. It's really, really a fun album. You will not regret it. It's available at Bandcamp, Spotify, and YouTube. Now this one, if I'm pronouncing this band name right, Neat Land. Um, they are from, I want to say they're from, I think they're from Nordic. No, they're, okay. Uh, they're, they're in their own world. Neat Land, Songs of the Shaman came out this year, 2025. 10 tracks, 33 minutes. Their genre is dark folk, Nordic music, and Viking music. Um, They write in a non-pop cultural classic sense. The term shamanism refers primarily to the spiritual practices of indigenous Siberian peoples. Shamans interact with the spirit world through altered states of consciousness as protectors of their communities. On their album Songs of the Shaman, Neat Lan interpret traditional shamanic songs or spells of Siberia's Manuk linguistic groups. These songs use ancient musical techniques such as throat singing and drums and were recorded in their original language. So, um, let me play you this. All right, so um, the ritual of exorcising an evil dead spirit. That's a pretty cool title.
Wow.
This was very a spiritual type of music that they put out, And they're also up there with this other band, Hailong. And Hailong, I think, started it all with um tackling music of the roots of our ancestors and such. And and this band does it too. They do it in their way. The singer, she uses her throat, so what you heard, that's her voice doing that. Um, I'm pretty sure she uses some sort of a vocal program, or if she really does it that way. But I heard her perform live, and it's really, really on YouTube. It's really, really quite amazing. And just the music itself is pure spiritual relaxation. You may not see it that way. It may come off, some of it may come off as eerie, atmospheric, or kind of like very demonic. But if you listen to the background, if you listen to the drums and and everything that's going, it's quite good, and it's really, really it's an experience you have to really immerse yourself in when listening to this group. They've been around for quite a long time, so this album's really good. Check them out on Bandcamp, Spotify, and YouTube. Really good stuff. And then the last one, God's Wounds, Death to the Baby Boomers, came out in 2014. 13 tracks, 49 minutes, and they are experimental rock, noise rock, and all of the above. They're out there. Um, So let me play you this. Um, I have to say this band really was quite something when I had them on my list, and I've listened to them before, but listening to them again felt much more refreshing because some of it did come off, um, let's say, like an experiment gone wrong with Mr. Bungle. Let's say Mr. Bungle experimenting on themselves with this drug that none of us ever heard before. And out of that, they either vomited some substance out of their mouth, and it created a organism force of another band that is God's Wounds. As best as I could describe it, some of it does remind you of Mr. Bungle, but it's its own thing. It's all over the place. They play it so well, very, very, very avant-garde. Like a really good bits and beats of metal here and there, a bit of paranoia stuff, and I love it. I love this kind of music. They did release a new album, Cheer Up Sunshine, this year, and I'm surprised they are back because I just thought this was the only album they were going to release, but apparently not. So, yeah, check out this band. If you like Mr. Bungle, you definitely will like God's Wounds, Death to the Baby Boomers, and there's also their new album, Cheer Up Sunshine, on Bandcamp, Spotify, and YouTube. And that, my friends, is my picks of the day.
Very interesting. God's Wounds seems to have a new album every month.
Yeah, I seen.
Makes me want to investigate.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I'll do that. And you do
All
that
right.
too, everybody. So we'll head to, you know what, the final episode today.